I recently watched and thoroughly enjoyed the Christmas horror short Axemas, so I decided to check out Axemas 2 Bloodslay, and in general, while it's not as good as the first film, it was still pretty decent. This was released in 2018. It's written and directed by John Ward, and we have a cast including Ashley Campbell, Drew Marvick, Ben Stobber, and various others. And I guess there will be some spoilers in this for the previous film. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail, but it may spoil the previous film. So, spoilers for the first film from now. This one's set in the same storage facility. The premise of the first film was people were in a storage facility, an axe wielding Santa Claus comes along, and, well, you can imagine what happens next. And it's a similar premise. This one takes a look a little bit at the aftermath of the first film. It immediately starts off with this beautiful blend of horror and Christmas. It's a really delightful start. And then we get a recap with the character of Sarah from the previous film. And then, honestly, not much happens for 15 minutes, which is about half of the film. It really was really slow. But then the horror aspect kicks back in, and things get very dangerous for various characters. And we have a similar concept as the first film, storage facility. Somebody dresses Santa Claus carrying an axe. And I love it, and I think it works really well. So it was slow. It was definitely a slow film. That being said, the first film is 25 minutes. This one's about 35 minutes. So this one's a little bit longer, but I would say that we could remove 10 minutes from that slow bit until we get to about the halfway point, and it would be a better film. So realistically, this one could have been about the same length as the first film, and I think it would have been more enjoyable. The pacing would have been a lot better. So we're getting the same amount of quality in terms of how much time is enjoyable. I'd say about 20, maybe 25, 20 minutes of this is good. The rest of it feels like it's a little too slow and not that interesting. So it's not that it's not as good as the first film, it's that there are extra moments that are just not that enjoyable. So the good bits are as good and they take up the same amount of time. And then we have some extra fluff that I'm really not that interested in. I appreciate them trying to world build a little bit more, showing how this impacts people after the fact, bringing in other characters, letting us get to know them a little bit more outside of the storage facility. I don't think all of that is a bad thing, but I don't think it's that interesting personally. Maybe if it was a feature-length film and we were spending more time with the characters, but because it is a significant chunk of time in a short film, I don't think that it worked very well. But again, we get 25 minutes of a solid film in the first film, and I'd say at least 20 minutes of Axemas 2 is decent as well. So with that in mind, it's not too bad. We have some really good performances. The music's very good. The performances are good. I love the costume, the Santa costume. We have some good lighting and camera work. It may not be as strong as the first film, but Axemas 2 Bloodslay is still a decent experience. And if you enjoyed the first film, then I'm happy enough to recommend this one.